Even in battle, Torah has laws. Welcome to a brand new weekly Parsha Thoughts for the Parsha of Ki Teytzey. I'm Cantor Spiro from the Song Shul, and this week we're going to see how the words of this week's Torah portion are absolutely relevant today. Parshat Ki Teytzey opens with these words: "When you go out, Ki Teytzey," reminding us that life itself is a series of journeys beyond our normal comfort zone. The Hasidic sage, the Sfas Emes, teaches that every challenge conceals a spark of holiness, just waiting to be redeemed. The question is not whether we face challenges, but whether we transform them into opportunities for growth and paths to holiness. Even the Parsha's many detailed mitzvot are not just random laws, they train us to discover sanctity in everyday choices. The late Rabbi Jonathan Sachs noted that Ki Teytzey transforms compassion into habit, commanding us to care for the vulnerable, return lost objects, and preserve human dignity. You see, greatness is not measured by dramatic moments, but by consistent acts of responsibility. Thereby, each mitzvah becomes a step towards refining both society and the soul. Let's look again at how the opening words of this week's Parsha continue. Ki teitzei la milchama al oivecha, when you go out to battle against your enemy. Parshat Ki Teytzey teaches us about how, even in battle, we must conduct ourselves. There are laws of humanity involved in capturing your enemy's property, which even includes his family, his help, etc. The Israel Defense Forces are guided by these laws, even in war. The genocide of which Israel are wrongfully and ridiculously accused of committing, the idea of wiping out Gaza and its 2 million inhabitants could have been achieved in 1 week without putting any Israeli soldiers on the ground at tremendous risk. In fact, the IDF have their soldiers painstakingly checking each and every apartment, house, and courtyard for terrorists at the risk of their own lives, rather than just indiscriminately killing millions from the air. This is tragically living proof that the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, embody the ethics taught from this very same Parsha about how we were to conduct ourselves when going into battle, at the time in history when we were first given the land of Israel, thousands of years before there was any so-called Palestine, before Islam or even Christianity were created. Battlefields are not merely in the Middle East, Ukraine or Africa. The Holy Maggid, the Kotzker Rebbe, Menachem Mendel of Kotzk, taught that the greatest battlefield is not the world around us, but the one within us. Every day we confront distractions, anger, fear, and self-doubt. There's a beautiful story that was told to illustrate the power of Rebbe Menachem Mendel of Kotzk's positive teaching. The Kotzker Rebbe once saw a chassid who kept lamenting to himself over and over again his many spiritual failures. The Rebbe smiled and said, "God has no shortage of angels, my friend. What he desires is a human being who keeps getting up." That may be Ki Teytzey's greatest lesson. You see, holiness is not reserved for those who never fall, but for those who rise again and again with courage, with purpose. Think, if an entire military force can put itself in mortal danger day after day, rather than simply annihilating its enemy from the sky with zero regard for collateral damage, then surely the Torah has taught us this: that every single act of honesty kindness, and resilience, no matter how small, brings yet another spark of redemption into our world. We need that redemption more now than ever before. In an age of constant and endless hate and noise, the Torah reminds us that the real victory is remaining faithful to our highest values instilled in us by our parents, leaders, and role models. My friends, as we prepare for the coming high holidays, this week's Parsha Ki Teytzey invites us all to see every encounter as an opportunity to elevate the ordinary into the extraordinary, revealing that holiness is built one thoughtful decision, one act of kindness, and one courageous step at a time. Shabbat Shalom.
This week, members of the Song Shul observe Yortzites for the following people: Armin Gerechter, Avram Yosef, father of Bonnie Lillian, Pearl Gordon, mother of Fern Matlin, Maureen Burgart, family of Joe Farkas, and Mildred Cohen, Malka Bat Zvi Hirsch, mother of Joyce Poslins. May their memories be for a blessing, and may their neshamot have aliyot at this time. This week we celebrate the birthdays of these members of the Song Shul: Georgina Danzig, Risa Boardman, Victor Shields, and Mark Namer.
Mazal Tov and Yom Huledet Sameach to all our Song Shul members celebrating birthdays this coming week. And to all our Song Shul members commemorating Yortzites for your loved ones, may you have Chaim Aruchim, long life, and may the neshamot of your loved ones have an aliyah at this time. And we all say, Amen. Well, here we are. So this is your 3-week countdown to Rosh Hashanah tonight. We can't wait to see you at the Meridian Arts Center for our one-of-a-kind high holiday services. Now, if you've yet to register, go to songshul.com and see what we have in store for you this Rosh Hashanah.
There's so much to love about the High Holy Days at the Song Shul. Our renowned services with Cantor, Spiro, and the Toronto Festival Singers. Our wonderful family service, fun and engaging for the entire family. Our featured guest speakers. For Rosh Hashanah, author Jacqueline Saper will share her amazing story of living through the Islamic Revolution in Iran. And for Yom Kippur, Ambassador Mark Regev returns direct from Israel to share his latest insights on the Holy Land. Plus, Ori Dagan is our Rosh Hashanah musical guest, and Yom Kippur we have singing sensation Ricky Rose.
Come, join us for an unforgettable Yom Tov experience. So until next week's Parsha Thought, have a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Hashem, Hashem.